me telling a few stories as we go through the show. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Something I meant to do a while ago. If anybody's got a question about Elvis you'd like to ask me, I'll take 2 minutes and answer the questions honestly. So if you've got a question, because I was there for a lot of years, if you have a question that you'd like to ask, you just raise your hand, and right now I will answer. Anybody got a question that you'd like to have answered? You got to raise your hand. Yes, sir.
What was his number one gospel song?
I'm sorry.
What was his number one gospel song?
Well, I always loved gospel music. I don't know what his biggest selling gospel song was, but I can tell you what my favorite one was, and it's all our favorites. How Great Thou Art. There was no greater song that Elvis ever sang than How Great Thou Art. Yeah. Anybody else got a question? Any? There's always that one lady that raises her hands and asks this question. Boxers or shorts? I'm not getting that tonight. Anybody got a question? Yes, ma'am.
Boxers or shorts?
What?
Boxers or shorts?
Boxers or shorts? Neither one. He was ill. That's why when we were in Pontiac, Michigan, in Detroit, many years later, he was doing the big show. It was his biggest show ever on New Year's Eve. We flew up on the Lisa Marie. Very embarrassing moment for Elvis when he split his whole jumpsuit open on stage. No shorts. The crowd loved him that night. One last question. Anybody else got a question? See, you get great answers to these things. Yes, sir.
Did you and Elvis and Eddie Rabbitt hang out together?
No, I didn't. Eddie Rabbitt was a good friend, but Elvis was never one to hang out with many artists. When we were in Las Vegas, after the show at night, the second show, we used to do 2 shows, we'd be upstairs in the suite on the 30th floor, and you never knew who you were going to look up and see standing in the suite at a get-together. I mean, you'd look up and you'd see Sammy Davis Jr. and Tom Jones, and I looked up one night and there's Frank Sinatra. He didn't hang out with many artists, and I was very honored. And I don't think he would hung out with me as an artist, but we were friends before I became an artist, so it was kind of a natural transition for us to hang out. But Kentucky Rain was a great song, wasn't it, that he wrote for Elvis?
He wrote that
Yeah.
song.
One last question. Yes, sir.
Tell us more about how you became friends with Elvis before you were an artist.
How I became friends with Elvis. I met him at a skating rink one night, and I was leaving, and because I thought they were closing the roller rink up, and I was 15. This is the first time I met him, and I'm standing outside, and they're cutting the lights off outside, and a couple of Cadillacs pull up, and I'm standing there, and Elvis gets out from behind the wheel and walks right up to me, and I'm like a deer in the headlights. I mean, I'm like Mel Tillis. I'm going. I couldn't even speak. He was calling himself Elvis Presley, for God's sakes, talking to me. He said, "Where are you going?" I said, "Well, I'm going to hitchhike somewhere to spend the night, And he said, "We're a man short on my team in here. We play a little game called Kill on skates." It was football on skates, and it was Kill. That's how we met, and that was the start of a friendship. And after that night, after we got through roller skating about 5 o'clock in the morning, I said, "Well, that's it. I met Elvis. He'll never remember me again." He said, "You hungry?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Come on, we'll go up to the house and get something to eat." He drove me up the driveway of Graceland, and I had to pinch myself, thinking Elvis Presley is driving me up the driveway to his house. I can only tell you, all of you who have asked questions, that it was a God thing. Because I prayed about it from the time I was this little. And I told my mom, I said, "Someday, Mom, he's going to become my best friend." And she said, "Don't get your hopes up. You come from a small town. Chances of you ever meeting him, let alone getting to know him, is very rare." But I always knew it was in the cards. Oh, hey, what is this? Your mom made this? Wow. Fantastic. I'd be honored to sign it after the show. Matter of fact, I think I'll just keep it. I'll be glad to, yeah. Okay, let's get back to some music. I've jabbed enough here, talked enough.